I used to think that love was something loud, something grand, something everyone could see. I used to believe love was measured in the things people said, or the gifts they gave, or the celebrations they made. But I learned slowly and painfully that love is sometimes quiet, and sometimes it is the quiet love that matters most. I was born to a mother who didn't have much. Our house was small, the walls thin, the kitchen always smelling of rice and ginger because those were the things she could afford. She worked long hours at a garment factory, her hands always rough and cracked from thread and dye, her back bent from standing for too long. I remember, as a child, touching the back of her palms and wondering why they felt like sandpaper. She used to laugh and say, "Hard work builds love, and love stays, even when hands grow old." I was too young to understand what that meant. Children rarely understand the things that matter. My mother raised me alone. My father left when I was 3. I don't remember his face. I remember only the sound of a door closing and the silence after. My mother never spoke badly of him. She would only say, "Some people don't know how to stay, but we do. You and I, we stay." For a long time, I believed her. I believed that I would stay with her forever, that I would always be by her side, that we would face the world together, just the two of us. But life is not so simple, and hearts do not always stay where they begin. When I turned 15, I began to see the world differently. I began to want things: shoes with brand names, laughter from crowds, and the eyes of people who didn't know where I came from. I began to feel embarrassed when my mother would come to school wearing her faded clothing and her worn-out sandals, her hair always tied in the same bun, her hands always marked with scratches from work. One day, she came to pick me up from school because it was raining. I remember stepping out of the classroom and seeing her standing there, holding an umbrella with a broken rib, her clothes still damp from the walk. A group of boys laughed in the corner. One of them said, "Is that your mother? She looks like she came from a factory trash bin." My face burned, not because of what he said, but because I felt it too. I was ashamed. I walked past her without saying a word. She called after me softly, "My son, I brought your jacket so you wouldn't be cold." I didn't stop. I didn't look back. When we got home, she didn't scold me. She didn't ask why I ignored her. She only said, "I am glad you didn't get wet. Love can be gentle, even when we are cruel." As I grew older, I grew distant. I didn't want my friends to meet her. I didn't want them to see the house we lived in or hear the stories of the life she fought for. I began spending more time outside. I pretended I didn't care, but I did. Shame is a cage we build ourselves, locked from the inside. At 17, I began working part-time, not to help her. No, spent the money on clothes, on games, on food I didn't need. My mother, of course, said nothing. She would come home tired, her legs trembling, her eyes red from lack of sleep, and she would ask, "Have you eaten?" Never. "Have you helped?" Never. "Do you see me suffering?" One evening, she placed her hand on my cheek and said, "You are growing fast. I hope your heart grows gentle too." I brushed her hand away. I regret that moment more than almost anything in this world. Years passed. I got into university in the city, far from home. My mother sold her wedding ring to help pay for my dormitory. I didn't know that then. I found out years later. She simply told me, "What I have is yours. What you become is my pride." But pride does not always come easily. In the city, I met people who had everything. I wanted to be like them. I wanted to erase the origins I came from. I began lying about my childhood. I told people my parents worked abroad. I told them I lived in a 2-story house. I told them things I thought would make them respect me. I did not speak to my mother often. When she called, I answered with short words, impatient sighs, and excuses. Yet she always ended each call with the same words, "I love you. Please eat well." Time passed in a blur of lectures, parties, and borrowed dreams. Then came the day when my life broke. I had made a mistake, a large one. I had taken money from someone I shouldn't have. I was desperate to keep up with friends who had no idea what it meant to count coins. I got caught, and suddenly, I was facing charges, meetings with authorities, and a shame far heavier than anything I had ever felt. I didn't know where to go. I didn't know who to call. So I called my mother. She did not ask what happened. She only said, "I'm coming." She traveled overnight by bus. When she arrived, she was still wearing her factory uniform. I will never forget the moment she walked into the room, small and tired and trembling yet standing with the strength of a mountain. She bowed to the people accusing me. She apologized. She begged. She cried. Her cracked hands clasped together, as if she was praying for me. I could not lift my head. I felt smaller than a child. I felt like a wound. I felt like I had shattered her and she was trying to pick me up with bleeding hands. She paid what I owed. I found out later she had taken a loan, an impossible loan. As we walked outside, I finally asked, my voice breaking, "Why did you do that?" "I caused this. I ruined everything." She looked at me with eyes that had seen too many winters and said, "You are my child." A mother does not measure love by deserving. A mother simply loves. When you fall, I kneel so you can stand again. I cried then. I cried like the child I once was. And my mother, my patient, gentle mother, held me. Her hands, rough and scarred, rested on my back, and I understood something I had never understood before. Her hands were not rough because life was cruel. They were rough because she chose to carry me through every storm. After that day, I changed. Not all at once. Change is slow, like healing. I took responsibility. I worked. I paid back the debt. I visited home more often. I cooked with her. We really talked for the first time in years. I asked her one evening, "Did you ever hate me?" She smiled, soft, warm, tired. "I never hated you. I only waited for you to see me." I did. I finally did. Now, my mother grows older. Her hair is turning white, and her steps are not as steady as they once were. I hold her arm when we walk. I rub lotion into her hands so the scars don't ache as much. I make her tea the way she likes it, light, with honey. Sometimes she looks at me and says, "You became gentle after all." And I answer, "You taught me how." Love is not loud. Love is not grand. Love is not always seen. Sometimes love is a pair of rough hands holding you when you fall. Sometimes love is a woman who never lets go. If this story touched your heart, please share it with someone you love. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe for more stories that find the extraordinary in the ordinary. Thank you for listening.